One, two, I guess, but it is on there. 1, 3, on this one.
Yeah, I mean, the employees are on there listed on each individual invoice. But they were put on there as numbers as opposed to people because of a situation that was earlier that created some issues.
Well, I mean, to me, the name of the employee is not a big deal to me, but FEMA it probably is, that way they can capture these hours. But all these are remote hours, I don't know how in the world you would capture all that. And you're looking at a pretty good chunk of change for all those remote hours.
I know with other organizations, and I can just speak from that standpoint, is if you're working from home, you log in when you start and you log out when you end. So they would be doing the same thing. They just don't have presented to us those details. That's why I asked, did you want additional timesheets or something of that nature?
I would like to know how, if that's acceptable to FEMA to capture the hours so we can get reimbursement. That's the main thing.
I don't think there would be a stipulation as to whether they were working at home or they were working remotely or they were working at the EOC. I don't think that would be stipulation as to where they were working at the time. The question would be, what hours did they work and is that fully documented?
Now, this isn't a new thing. I mean, companies that do this sort of thing, I'm sure this is standard practice throughout their industry. But it is something that we do need to know to ease our minds. At least know what Shous's experience is and how that works. That could help us out a lot. Like I say, even though I'm 100% sure this is something that's been going on, and other companies do it, there's no way they keep people on site for 2 and 3 years. That's not going to happen. But just a little extra information, I think, would ease everybody's mind.
Yes, I mean, I worked for a remote company for 13 years. I just logged my hours when I work. When I was online, I was logged in. When I was not online, I was logged out.
But I'm saying, we're being reimbursed. Your company is paying you. I've worked remotely too. I'm talking about, you said this morning that we're not getting some of the reimbursement like we expected.
Well, I
So
don't think anybody's ever said we're going to get 100% on anything, even though
Yes, it
that was
was.
stated this morning.
it was.
That's not possible.
It's in a
Anybody
minute.
who's logical knows there's no way we will get reimbursed for 100% of everything we ever spend.
We certainly hope to, but I don't think anybody thought that it would be 100%. I mean,
It's not logical.
myself.
Mayor, if I may, I have comments.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to be referring to page 49 and pages 61 through 64.
69,
1
61.
through 64. So I'm referring to hotel expenses. So on page 49, the hotel expense that totals to $2,800 and something is for 8 nights. And if you will look at page 61, you will see that they rented an entire home, had 6 bedrooms, and there were 2 guests. If anybody in here has ever booked a VRBO or an Airbnb, you know that the price increases the more bedrooms there are in the facility. So I'm wondering why we're being asked to pay for 6 bedrooms for 2 guests. Furthermore, if you will look down at the 3rd line of the hotel expenses on page 49, so you've got 3 lines of hotel expenses. The 3rd line is a different employee number. It's employee 103. There's no dates given. So I'm assuming that the dates, since it's 12 nights, would be, the same period of time that those other 2 hotel bills are for. I don't know. I can only guess. But if that's true, there was extra beds in both of those other hotel expenses. Why did that person need a completely separate hotel? Why could they not stay with their others? And maybe if I'm wrong on the dates, then that'll answer that question. But the look at page 62. It has 4 beds for 3 guests. I think the choices that are being made are excessive. I think there are cheaper places to stay than $300 per night and $350 per night.
Commissioner Hughes?
I was just gonna clarify with her, yes, that third is a different employee. Her dates are 6/15 to 6/27. That's on page 63.
Yes, that's what I was gonna mention too. The dates are different.
Okay. A couple of them, the one hotel expense goes to June 17th. I'm very frugal. If I could have an employee stay with me for a couple of nights and save somebody some money, I would do it. I wouldn't put them up in a separate place. Because there is at least 2 nights overlap there.
Well, they checked out on the 17th and she arrived on the 15th, so she would have only been there 1 night. I'm just looking at the dates.
Mr. Chair,
Comments? Yes, sir.
y'all keep in mind too, the contract. When we approved the contract for that firm, it was not to say where they stayed at all. They were under the rule of travel set down by the state of Tennessee and its amount. So now we can't change the contract.
I think it speaks to the integrity of the company with which we're dealing.
I'm saying, but each individual in the management with that contract can go to the full amount the state allows for reimbursement for travel and stay, same as all of our employees. It doesn't vary.
Yes, Commissioner Hughes.
I'd like to piggyback off Brad's statement there. The contract does say at the current rate, state rate, per diem rate. In Tennessee, in our area, it's $110. If you go by that, Mr. Harden, could we limit what we pay to just that state rate? And anything else beyond that is the
Yes,
cost of the company?
that's the rate, it's been the rate. There's other contractors that have apparently found rooms within that rate. But it exceeds that rate. I don't know the extenuating circumstances, I have no idea, but yes, what we agreed to pay was the standard rate, and right, it's $110 a night.
So all those nights, we could go back to just do the rate of $110 and then we pay for that rate, and after that, it's on the company. It's on Shouse.
That's what we're contractually obligated for, is that rate.
Thank you.
So I
That's
just,
per employee, correct?
yes, so I just divided up. If you take the hotel expense June 9th through the 17th for 8 nights for 3 employees and divide that out by the nights and by the number of employees, it's $117.32. So it's $7 per employee per night.
Attorney Herb, will that change anything?
So we would have to basically short them $21 for that particular
You
stay.
know, it's, in the summer, it's always a little more expensive.
We can't control what individual hotels charge, but this is just the government rate. Yeah, they can stay at the Ritz-Carlton if they want to, but you just give $110.
Further questions? We do have a motion and a second on the floor.
We do have a motion and a second.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but my math says that 8 nights for 3 employees at $110 comes out to $2,640. That's a difference of around $150. I didn't do the subtraction. But, I mean, if we can save $150, let's save $150.
Well, this includes taxes and, I mean, I don't know, I'd have to go back and look at the state statute. Is that includes taxes and non-taxes, do you know?
It's kind of set up at a rate for people who don't get charged tax. I mean, when you're working for the government. I think it's an all-inclusive number.
Said we have a motion on the floor, you know. Want to pay the invoice and you want to change it,
Did Julie go ahead and make the motion?
I did.
Julie, will you accept an amendment to change the amount to reflect the $110 a night for each of those hotel stays?
Attorney Garden, do we need to do your recommendation? Should we do that now or should we do that going forward after this?
It's totally within your all's purview. I mean, they've submitted an invoice for payment, and I mean, if you're changing it, you're not truly paying that invoice, but that's an issue for another day. That's up to you. If you all decide to pay an amount lesser than has been invoiced. If it's just for that rate, you know, I feel like that's defensible, but that's up to you all. I mean, there's been many approved that exceed that rate already. So,
Precedent's hard to beat.
I-
And a precedent is hard to beat.
but there's certainly been many approved that exceeded that rate already.
Who made the second, sir?
Commissioner Stout.
Chair Stout made the second.
What's the amendment again? Amendment to the,
Just to drop it to the 110 per night rate. That is the state rate, approved state rate. So Jerry, is that acceptable to you?
Yes.
We have an amended motion that contract will back out all the $110 per night, which is the state rate. So
And that's for all three hotel charges? I just want to be clear.
yeah, that's what the intent of the motion was, to believe. So it's now not $64,221.08.
I think it's a difference of $175.87. So please do check. No, it's more than that. Sorry. That's only one.
Yeah, I sort of said that's just.
50 total.
So if I withdraw the motion, send it back to have them correct it to meet the requirements of the contract, rather than us doing production.
Hatfield Drive, what you just initially.
Want to repeat that?
I said, of course, our legal bills can credit myself. I would think that we would withdraw the motion as it stands and the motion to send it back to be corrected according to the state contract amount to be submitted. Because, you know, to go in and manipulate somebody else's invoice doesn't sound too good.
I am more inclined to withdraw my, yes, and do that. That feels more right.
Okay, then I'll need a motion.
All right, Johnson, go ahead, because you have it in your brain.
Put it right now. I will place it in the motion that the invoice shall be returned for correction and resubmission of the price of the lodging based on the state travel regulations, which is $110 a night. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, the second one will be more.
The second one will be more.
So since they've already presented a number, they can't go up on it, correct? If they weren't charged more than that.
No, if it's less than 110, whatever you were charged, if it's less than, that is the maximum, correct?
That's the allowance, yes.
And also, if we're sending it back for their change, there's no reason they can't make a change of their own.
1,320. Well, I should say then they just make all of it allowance. So, I mean,
It gives them a
whatever they want to do.
I feel more secure in doing that than just cutting it all at once.
Oh, my God.
The motion is to send this particular
This one I just,
item back to Shelson Company and let them correct.
I will second that.
Okay, and there's a second. Any questions on what we're voting?
so we're sending it back to them for adjustment.
Yeah. Send it back to, that was the motion. Send it back to them to make their adjustment to the state rate. And you submit.
I would ask that the commission pay attention to what comes back on hotel expense for employees 101, 102, 105 for June 30th, July 4th.
No further comments? Chadwick? Okay. You have a second, Commissioner Wayne.
Julie Gwynn,
Yes.
Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
Yes.
Ginger Holdren,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
Dr. Acuff.
Aye. Okay, we're down to 6G, another Shell's Professional Service, invoice number 70325, in the amount of $5,523.80.
That is an invoice.
There are no hotel bills on this, but this is all payment to senior FMA project manager and field consultants, plus GSA mileage. So I need a motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve.
Smith makes the motion. We have a second, please.
I'll second.
Sal makes the second. Questions about this item? None heard, when you're ready, Chad.
Julie Gwynn,
Yes.
Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
No.
Ginger Holdren,
No.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
Dr. Acuff.
Aye. Item 6A, which is to Trilake Products, invoice number 20325. Their deal has already been approved. These are for portable sign systems. This in the amount of $2,900.
Motion to approve.
Over makes the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Teal. Any questions about this item? When you're ready.
Julie Gwynn, Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
Yes.
Ginger Holdren,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
Dr. Acuff.
We're down to 6I, to RK&K invoice number 25020.000-5. This is for bridge number 1 in the amount of $9,320.
Motion to approve.
Hughes makes the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Deal makes the second. Questions about this item? Hearing none, go ahead.
Philip Wynn, Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
Yes.
Ginger Holdren,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
Todd Grego,
6J, RK&K invoice number 25021.000-5. This is for Ogie Bridge number 2, in the amount of $27,667.50. Alderman makes the motion.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wood. Questions about this item? Hearing none, you can vote, sir.
Philip Wynn,
Yes.
Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
Yes.
Ginger Holdren,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes, Jerry Stout,
Yes.
Todd Grego,
6K is to RK&K invoice number 25047.000-5. This is for Long Hollow Bridge in the amount of $23,987.50. Wayne makes the motion. Second. Second by Commissioner Smith. Questions about the item? You ready, sir?
Philip Wynn, Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
Yes.
Ginger Holdren,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
Todd Grego,
6L, this is to Thompson Consulting. This is a redo, if you will, for an invoice that was never received. This is April's invoice. This is for debris monitoring in the amount of $3,465.77.
So what's the reason that it's coming to us so late?
They did not give a reason, other than they asked where the payment was. And we had a letter from them previously that said they were completed, but we've gotten 2 invoices since then. So I don't know if they didn't send it, but I don't have it. And no one else has received it, so. It would be for the last couple of days, or last few days that they were doing the monitoring.
So is this part of something that's already been filed by Shouse to FEMA?
We've done a preliminary filing. We can't do a final on that until we get the final invoice of payment for Hampton Construction.
So even though this is several months beyond its dates, you think we can still file it and hope to get
I mean,
reimbursed?
we'll try it, we'll submit it. Mary is out on vacation, so I can't ask her that question. She is our consultant with FEMA on that particular project. So I can't ask her a definitive on that, and I can't find anything that says yay or nay on it. So the document's like 300 pages long, so I haven't read the entire document. I just see if I can find anything related to it. If the project had been finalized, then yeah, we just, it'd be a done deal, but it is still pending because we don't have the final invoice for Hampton.
So Thompson has not provided you, Director, with proof that they sent this at an earlier date.
And I had to request it 4 times in order to get it. And that's the reason that the materials didn't go out until whatever it was, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, whatever day I sent them out the budget. I can go back and look, but that's what I was waiting on. Everything else in the packet was done. I was waiting on this invoice. That was the last piece of information I received.
And you knew the invoice existed because they asked you for their money.
Yes. It hadn't been, I hadn't seen it previously on any of their documentation.
I need a motion to serve what we do to dispose of this item.
If it pleases the chair, could we wait and come back to this one?
It's fine with me. Set that one aside. Let's go to 6E, which is Sunbelt Rentals invoice number 162-193-666-0009. These are for solar boards. This in the amount of $913.50.
Motion to approve.
You have a motion approved from Commissioner Holbrook. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Dew. Questions about the item? Hearing none, Mr. Ray.
Julie Gwynn,
Yes.
Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
Yes.
Ginger Holdren,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
Dr. Acuff,
Item 6N to Sunbelt Rentals invoice number 162-193-666-0010. The amount is $4,872, and these are for message boards on Hampton and Heaton Creeks.
Motion to approve.
Holder makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Deal. Questions about the item?
Julie Gwynn,
Yes.
Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
Yes.
Ginger Holdren,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
Dr. Acuff,
Item 6O to YPA invoice. This is for the school regarding FEMA. And this amount is $4,062.50. Find that information on pages 105 and 106 in your packet.
I'll make a motion to approve this.
Commissioner Holden makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Stout. Hearing none, everybody, sir.
Julie Gwynn, Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
Yes.
Ginger Holdren,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
Dr. Acuff,
Item 6P, again to your public adjuster, YPA invoice for the Hampton High School conference, school item, in the amount of $5,039.62. On page 107.
Motion to approve.
Stout makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Smith makes the second. Questions about the item?
I would like to make a comment, being it's about Hampton, in case some of you are not aware that the football team is actually practicing on the practice field at Hampton High School, which is a big deal.
No questions? Roll.
Julie Gwynn,
Yes.
Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
Yes.
Ginger Holdren,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
Dr. Acuff,
6Q, another YPA invoice for county equipment and vehicles. There are 3 auto claims on this particular one in the amount of $4,422.39. You can find that on page 108. For the invoice.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Smith makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Stout, and that's the second. Questions?
Julie Quinn. Brad Johnson.
Yes.
Danny Deal.
Yes.
Andrew Holden.
Yes.
Todd Smith.
Yes.
Leslie Hughes. Gary Stout.
Yes.
Dr. Acuff.
Aye. Okay, we're down to 6R. This is another YPA invoice. This is for county estimates and inspections on Folsom House in the amount of $2,987.15. Glenn makes the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Hughes makes a second. Any question about this particular item?
Yes, sir. I want to know why we're being billed for emails.
Same thing.
And they work remotely as well most of the time, not on site. So I wasn't part of that contract, so I can't answer that question.
It's a little bit of taking advantage of the situation in it, charging for emails. That's the first time I've ever seen that.
It's the work that they do, whether or not they're emailing something back and forth, that's 15 minutes of their time. It's the same thing as Josh. If he replies to you by email, he's gonna charge you for that half hour.
It's billable
It's
hours.
billable hours.
Just any work done is billable hours, whether it's emails, phone calls.
But it's not an hourly rate. I'm telling you, this is the first time I've ever seen anything that is charged per email.
And I mean,
But they are doing an hourly rate, 0.2, 0.1, base rate of 250, correct? So it is an hourly rate.
It says net claim amount 250.
That's the hourly rate. All down through there.
Net claim amount 250, so that tells me there's 250.
no,
$250.
That's the
an
amount.
hour.
$250 an hour.
What does it say on there that it's 250?
It's billable rate.
That's what I'll look say.
But where does it say it on this?
If that's the billable rate, then, and it's a percentage of that billable rate, I don't have that one open in front of me.
No wonder we're not getting any reimbursements back.
This is very common. I'm sorry some people haven't seen that. The 15 years ago when I was in finance, I had billable rates that were emails, return phone calls, things of that nature. I charged for. I mean, because that was part of my business. I had to. If I didn't, I would have been in the hole. I'd spend a whole day working and doing my job and not make a penny for it. What kind of sense would that make?
It's exactly what you guys are fussing about on these other invoices, that you don't know exactly what they're doing because they're not writing down every single thing they're doing. But this one does have everything written down, every single thing that they're doing, broken down by 0.2 of an hour, and you're still questioning it.
Tell me on here where it says it's $250 an hour.
Where you're saying net claim amount, what page are you on, by the way?
On page 2, page 110,
Okay, net claim amount is 250. The rate is how much time they spent doing it, like the 0.2, 0.1. So that last one, email, they spent 0.10 of an hour, and charged you $25 for that one email.
yeah, I can do that math, but I'm telling you, there's nowhere on this invoice on page 1 or 2 that I'm seeing that says it's $250 an hour.
That's where you come up with the number. They charge it. It's that first.
I guess we can email them a text and ask if they would change their whole format for us. Could we do
I'm
that?
not asking them to change their format.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just telling them, make it clear. I don't see how
That would.
I don't see how you'll get reimbursement for that the way it's written.
That's what these good folks do. This is their job.
If we do it, okay, Attorney Harden, how much to make clear? How much do we pay you?
$5.
So if I call you and ask you questions for 5 minutes, you do it?
Ma'am.
All right, same kind of thing.
Intensive an hour, point one is 6 minutes.
Exactly.
That's
So this
some
takes
people,
up your time, correct?
right, some people charge in quarters of an hour. They're billing intensive an hour, that's their hourly rate, that's the only way this math works out, that's their hourly rate. Telling you what they did. Certainly phone calls and emails are billable hours, certainly 100% every day.
Yes, they also, on the invoice that you've already approved, they charge a percentage of what you get back. So for example, we got a return on the 3 vehicles, so they charged a percentage on top of that, and they will not release the check for those vehicles until we pay their invoice. So that's what that, the other invoice is for, is they were able to get those paid by the insurance company.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. No further questions? Chad?
Julie Gwynn,
Yes.
Brad Johnson. Danny Deal,
Yes.
Ginger Holden,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
John Greco.
Agenda 6S, which is to ECE invoice number 25642-2147-202-50718 for site G, and that's Shell Creek, in the amount of $12,757.25. Pages 111 through 112.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Quinn makes the motion to approve. For a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Stout. Questions about this item? See none, hearing none.
Julie Gwynn,
Yes.
Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
Yes.
Ginger Holden,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
John Greco.
6T, this is also the ECE services, invoice number 25642-2148-202500718, site H, which is part of the Shell Creek site, in the amount of $12,757.25. It's on page 113, if you want to take a look at this.
I will point out, they do have their lodging at the right rate on this one, 110
But there was none, which means they worked remotely.
But they reduced the amount for payment per mile. They just
Yeah.
kept it full on.
That was gonna be a question I had that Brad just pointed out. So this company is charging 67 cents a mile, and Shells is charging 70 cents a mile.
70 cents is,
70 cents has reduced it, okay.
It was 67 in 2024. It went up to
Thank
70.
you all.
And I need a motion second, please.
Motion to approve.
Hughes makes the motion, you got a second.
second,
Second by Commissioner Stout. Questions about this item?
Julie Gwynn, Brad Johnson,
yes.
Danny Deal,
Yes.
Ginger Holden,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
John Greco.
Okay, we're down to item 6U. This is again an ECE services invoice for invoice number 25642-149-202507018 in the amount of $12,757.25. That's again Shell Creek. Page 114 in the packet.
Motion to approve.
Second.
That makes the motion. Commissioner Hughes made the second. Questions about the item? Hearing none, Chad, when you're ready.
Sheila Quinn,
Yes.
Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
Yes.
Ginger Holdren,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Gary Stout,
Yes.
Mike Rico.
6V is in Victor. This is ECE Services, invoice number 25642-2025-2025-0718 in the amount of $12,757.25. You can find that invoice on page 114. Excuse me, 115.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Smith makes the motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hughes. Questions? Hearing none. Got one?
I will make a comment. I don't know, maybe I'm confused myself. You look at the invoice date of 7/18. And when you look at all the invoices, the one prior to that was 7/18. Well, in the same geographical area, Shell Creek Road, over all entire. And that's a same, and they're charging $200 miles for that same date on each one of these invoices. Did they all come in a separate car or what? I mean, this is an engineering firm. Project
That's what it
engineer,
appears.
Interims, project engineers. I think I presume that we get $200 each day.
But they didn't have any lodging, they didn't stay, so they evidently drove in and out. Also, I will note that their invoices for the same site for different dates. When we received the initial invoices, it had a balance forward on them, and I questioned it. And they had to go back and look, and they had never charged us for the first invoices that were dated the 17th. So that was another thing that I had to wait on, but I didn't get those timely.
And you'll notice under all of the mileages that were billed, it's a round trip. It's not a single, and then stay at a hotel and go back the next day.
So it's not, that must be mileage all the way back to Crossville then.
Yeah, I think they drove back.
Well,
I don't see them bringing all separate cars from Crossville, Tennessee.
Well, we've been an engineer firm, good engineer, work on the road. It don't. Something just jail, but I thought maybe I was confused myself. But you could.
I mean, one of them had 48 hours, so, I mean, I would assume the rest of it is remote work, but it doesn't state whether it was in person or remote. But you wouldn't be here, I mean, you wouldn't stay 48 hours without having lodging. But these invoices are not detailed enough to really determine that. It doesn't say what was in person and what was remote.
When they did the site inspections at Shell Creek, right, and Heaton Creek?
I guess, I don't know, I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
all these other ones below, we've got, Stanley Creek, Eaton Creek.
Doe River.
They were all those on those, right?
The first four is on Shell Creek, that's the main process. We've had to get them to come back, we have to have a hydraulic study for each structure that we plan on changing out. Anything we plan on changing out, FEMA regulations has to have a hydraulic study. When we found the other things, they've had to come back. So doing everything at one time, they've had to come back several different times.
Yeah, and I know that the representatives had to go out with them several times. I don't know if you guys are aware or with EMA and, I mean, I know they've been there a few times.
Chair,
May I address Superintendent Burchett?
Sure.
Shannon, you just said the first four.
Yeah.
Are you referring to the first four invoices from that company in a
I'm talking
packet?
about, I guess the first, the H, the GH, J, they're all on Shell Creek. They're on one road.
Okay, so it's one road, but it's four different things going on that one road.
Yes, ma'am, 4 different sites.
Thank you.
The rest of these will be different roads, different sites.
Thank you, sir.
And a couple of them, Eden Creek, I think's got 2. And the creek may have 2, 3. I've looked at them many times, it's kind of. They're all different, except for that, like I said, those first 4, G, H, I, and J are all Shell Creek.
Just different sites.
Yes, sir.
And all they did was duplicate every charge 4 times. And they just gave them different invoice numbers. How do you argue with that? How do you argue with it? How do you tell them, no, I don't think you had 200 round trip miles for 4 different people and 4 different cars?
About 200 miles one way.
They stayed.
Because they had mileage while they were
They're
there.
all dated the same day.
Yes, sir.
On the Shell Creek ones, they've had to come back several different times, because like what FEMA wrote up, what was in there, if it was 60 foot long, time you put the head walls and the wing walls and stuff on, it has to be extended. So when the engineers looked at it, they said there's no way you can get by with 60 foot. So they had to go back and redo it, and stretch it out to 60 foot, 66 foot. Some of them had to be lengthened, so they had to go back and redo. That might be the reason some of these are back and forth.
We do have a motion and a second. Further discussion, are we done?
How does the community feel about asking the question? Clarification. Was this 4 different employees and 4 different cars on the same day? Can we not ask for clarification?
Absolutely. Motion to defer this invoice back to EZE for clarification.
So in that regard, you want to take all the ECE invoices and defer them?
We've already approved one.
Yep.
It's the same situation.
Mess you up.
Three.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Of course, I guess when it comes to the full commission, we would defer at that point.
Motion to defer the remaining invoices from ECE for clarification.
We have a motion on the floor.
No,
Commissioner Smith did.
unless
Want to
it's-
withdraw the motion?
Yes.
We'll withdraw that motion, and Commissioner Dill made the motion to defer the remainder of the ECE invoices within some clarification. Is there a second?
So you're paying the first 3, I just want to make sure I'm clear.
We're going to full.
I'm guessing it's all of them.
See, 147,
That's
148,
the- you know, we puzzled this.
The rest of the meeting.
So we're deferring all of them. Okay, I'm just trying to be clear.
taking all of them.
You've already voted.
Just the 4 Shaw Creek ones.
The full commission can do it next, right? It's, nothing's approved till they approve it anyway, so no matter what this committee does, get them on through or not, but they can defer them all in the full commission.
So.
It's be whether or not you're gonna be able to get them Monday night in budget, if you don't get them through budget now, because full commission is a week from Monday, and if you get it clarified by then, they could be approved in about a week. If you're not gonna be able to get them back through budget on this Monday, it's gonna be another month. It's not, I mean, and I'm not defending them, but it's not their fault that it would take another month to get paid if they answer the question satisfactorily in a day.
Carolyn, what would be, are there any repercussions as far as late fees on that if we
That's what I
defer?
was just looking to see if it states on here. I don't have the contract with me, so I don't know. Shannon, do you know?
Sure don't. Something, no.
Well, I mean, one of these invoices is dated 7/30. So if we paid it by 8/30, that's still, it's 30 days.
Half of them are 8:30, the other half are,
7/18.
7/18. Or sorry, 7/30. If it's 30 days, but I don't know what their terms are. It doesn't state it on the invoice.
Invoices that have not been paid, the collector is 0.833 for each.
So there could be late charges incurred.
0.83%.
Okay, the motion is to defer items 6V through 6CC.
Commissioner Deal,
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
gonna ask for another friendly amendment. Would you consider approving 6V as in Victor tonight? Because it's one of the 18th dates, I believe. To make sure that we're not charged any late fees on that one and defer all others below fee.
So it's
What
160.
is the invoice, what is the invoice number on that? Sure, Perky.
Okay, so. Goes first according to the contract. I'm sorry. Josh is looking at the contract and according to the contract, their terms are due upon receipt. Not 30 days.
Well, that's unrealistic when they're dealing with the county government. That's extremely unrealistic.
That way you can't ask no questions. What else do you-
Can't tell.
Okay, we have a motion to defer, make sure I've got this correct. Item 6V down to 6CC.
Sir, I believe he accepted my friendly amendment, that it would just be W through CC.
That is correct.
W through CC, okay. Deferring 6W through CC, that's what you're voting on.
Well, we didn't ever finish it. Motion and a second, we did not finish it, did we?
Commissioner Smith withdrew that motion.
So are we going to go ahead and pass due because it has an 18th date? We still need to do something with these.
Since this is the current motion on the floor, could we go ahead and vote this one and then go back to the,
Current motion's on the floor after Commissioner Smith withdrew is to defer 6W through 6CC. So that's what you're voting on. Any other questions? Everybody's clear? When you're ready, Chair.
Second.
Deal, did you do that? Did you do that?
I made the motion. Need a second.
Is there a second?
Yeah. Need a second.
well, I will second it.
Commissioner Holden, second. Further questions, concerns?
Are they under contract currently? That contract spell this out in any way, form, or fashion? We're maybe beating our head against the wall.
The contract I'm looking at I don't know if they've expanded the scope. This was for 4 roadways. Shell Creek, I don't know if there's been a different contract. This was in March. If you're asking me what, as far as the payment terms,
Or what the payment terms would be as far as, since we're questioning having 3 employees, 3 engineers on site, do they limit that in any way in there?
no, just simply the rates involved. There's no limit about personnel or how often they would drive or anything of that nature. Just that they would be reimbursed at the federal and state reimbursement rates. So no, there's nothing that would limit them from bringing 5 people in 5 different cars, if that's what you're asking me.
We don't have any say-so. Once that contract is signed, we can't tell them to change that in any way, correct? Unless we ask for a rework of the contract?
Correct. I mean, that's not in here. I mean, you just have to be arguing that was unreasonable and they should have carpooled. I mean, that's not up to us to decide. That's up to the judge.
I think the main question is, we have 3 engineers on here. I can legitimize 2 of them because one of them's an intern. You're not gonna have an intern up here by themselves. There's gonna be other engineers involved. And I think that's the question, is because we have 3 engineers on here. What do we hope to get out of this? I'm just posing a question.
They've got a list of 15 people at different hourly rates, so there's no guarantee about who or when was coming.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Julie Quinn. Brad Johnson. Danny Deal.
Yes.
Ginger Holdman.
Yes.
Todd Smith.
Yes.
Gary Stout. Todd Graycup.
Nay. Motion passes. That's the end of the budget committee. I'll open the floor up to any budget commissioner that would like to say a few words.
Well, we're going back on one.
Oh, sorry, you gotta go back to 6B. And that's an ECE invoice as well in the amount of $12,757.25 for the Shell Creek site. We have a motion to approve and a second.
What was the question on this first time? We covered so much, I don't remember.
It was that same issue about the round trip for 4 people.
Other questions? This is what we're voting on, 6B.
Julie Quinn.
Yes.
Brad Johnson. Danny Deal.
No.
Ginger Holdman.
Yes.
Todd Smith.
Yes.
Leslie Hughes.
Yes.
Jerry Stout.
Yes.
Todd Graycup.
Okay, now we're open the floor to budget commissioners who would like to address.
We tabled this one. It's pages 89 through 100.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Thompson Consulting for tree monitoring. In the amount of $3,465.77 on pages 89 through 100.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve it.
Alderman makes the motion to approve item 6L. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Glenn makes the second. Questions?
Julie Quinn.
Yes.
Brad Johnson.
Yes.
Danny Deal. Ginger Holdman.
Yes.
Todd Smith.
Yes.
Leslie Hughes. Jerry Stout.
Yes.
Todd Graycup.
Now, Commissioner comments on the budget.
I still have 4 kittens. If anybody wants one, please, for God's sake, come see me.
I thought he said
No, some people might want to get dessert. Okay, if no one else wishes to speak, okay, Commissioner.
So, a couple of months ago, I started asking about the reading of the contracts before we were obligated, before it became a contract essentially. I understand that everything was fast moving in October through December, January, I don't know. But this, contract that's been questioned tonight was a contract that Josh just said started in March. From March, I think we had time to be reading everything. I just think going forward, we commissioners have got to be more diligent about reading them ourselves or making sure that our attorney has read them. We've got to make sure somebody is reading all the fine print before we're obligated. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. The others?
I agree with that.
So noted. No other comments, then I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved, sure.
Thank you. We are adjourned.
Commissioners, would you like a 10-minute break?
Stand up for this.
I'm looking. I'm not doing it yet, because you're gonna get.
Okay, commissioners, we're ready. The delay was a technical issue.
We're ready on the machine, cheer.
Yes.
Yeah, where's the buttons?
I'm sorry.
Okay, so at about 7:37 PM on August the 7th, I called to order the meeting, special call for budgetary reasons, meeting of the full board of Carter County Commissioners. At this time, if you have your electronic devices, please sign in for the roll call.
Sometimes you just gotta have a guy.
Certain phones do that.
I never had a problem.
Sorry.
Mine is not working. Sign in. I think she did it.
Oh, okay.
I like that. It's the green.
I'll try to restart and see if it'll let me. No, I'm gonna restart my phone.
Okay, so hopefully the totals is worse at the top. Okay. Okay. So, oh, there we go. All right, so we do have a quorum present. Thank you all for being here. Look over the agenda for the full commission meeting. The floor is open for a motion to approve the agenda as written. We have a motion from Charlene Thomas and a second from Gary Kemp. Please vote on approval of the agenda.
Yes.
Motion passes. Let's go to Commissioner Angie Odom and Commissioner Julie Nguyen for the prayer and pledge of allegiance this evening.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for all that you've done and done for each one of us. And as we come together tonight, Lord Jesus, I pray that in what we do all things for not only you, Lord Jesus, but better our community. Let's be unified in what we do and help us, Lord, just respect one another as we, Lord, serve you in all that we do. Lord, I ask for you to have your hand upon our county and all the families that are still struggling, not only from Helene, but also those who struggle daily for the things that they need, Lord Jesus. Help lead us and guide us in how to reach out and to how to help each and every one of them. Lord, be with us, keep us safe. In your name I pray. Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. I notice sometimes there's a reluctance for the elected and appointed officials to stand. But y'all like for us to just wave at you. That'd be okay. We do want to recognize your service and thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We will receive a disaster recovery update from Director Hunter.
So we are still submitting RFIs for all the category A and B projects. For that, there's been some discussion with FEMA to try to start drawing on those funds. That's still pending. The category C with the road projects, we still have 17 projects. Let's start seeing. The NRCS, the contractors have started the bank stabilization on Shell Creek with Summers and Taylors and Heaton, which is Baker's, and then Hampton and Sugar Hollow bids that were closed and the project work should be starting. We have 30 projects that have been submitted to FEMA review, and we've been able to get more mitigation for those road projects. As I mentioned the last time, I do have numbers from the engineering firm. So for Poggy 1 and 2 that are in the last part of the engineering phase, they are still on target to have that engineering completed by the end of August. Poggy 1 is at 60%, and Poggy 2 is at anywhere between 60 to 75% done with that progress. I will say with Poggy 2, after being on the Zoom meeting with the engineer, they're finding a lot of pockets of gravel that they're trying to make sure that they're going to mitigate and be able to put the support for the mid-span where it's going to be firm and be resilient in the future. Long Hollow, they are at about 70% done with the engineering phase. That is also set to be completed by the end of August. With that, there's a little bit more to it than just rebuilding the one wing that was taken away and putting 2 pillars. They're going to further stabilize the entire bridge at Long Hollow, so it will be more resilient in the future. It won't be as easily damaged should something happen like this again. Category E, some site inspections are complete. We're pending some insurance completion for those projects in Category E, and we're also trying to get a better list of the damaged equipment to the buildings and equipment. Category G, it's still standing by on the grant, waiting to see where it moves for the parks. And the Cat Z, we're making a list of all the invoicing and trying to put that paperwork together. That's what I have.
Did you say that the engineering part of Long Hollow will be finished at the end of September?
August.
End of August, and that's engineering.
All the engineering phase, yes, because what they did is, they had a study where, and I thought it was pretty neat when I was on the Zoom call, that you can actually see the stone that you would be able to see. They've done geothermal, and you can see that there's pockets. You can see where they have to make sure they hit bedrock. So there's a lot more in-depth, a lot more damage that you can't see, but it's there. So it does need to be constructed back to pre-existing, but better.
Okay. So does either one of you have an approximate date that it will be completed in construction?
The construction, I mean, once the engineering phase, it'll go to the next. I believe they said the best route is going to be to do Poggy 1 first to get the equipment over to Poggy 2. But Poggy 2 is giving the most problems from an engineering point of view. But we're still two years.
Okay.
If we're good on that.
Thank you. I had a citizen to ask. I appreciate you all answering my question. Thank you. All right, thank you so much for that, Director. Public comments are next. Anybody here wishing to speak tonight? All right, let's move on to agenda item 9, which brings Chairman Dr. Bob Acuff back to the podium.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have a few items, one several that were deferred during the budget reviews of your include. I'll present those as well. Motion of how they came out of budget. And then you'll decide what you can do with those particular items. Here we'll start with item 6A. I'll make the motion, which contains 3 projects for Hinkle in the amount of $103,948.75. Second by Glenn. And the repair quotes from Hinkle include Bear Branch Road, Bradbury Road, Old Railroad Drainage Road, again for total project cost of $103,948.75. And I'll include in that motion that we give permission to the mayor to sign the letter. So we have a motion and a second. Questions about this item? Not ready to vote now.
Yes. I thought I was in, but it's still not letting me.
That's unanimous. Move to item 6B. I'll place into motion to pay Landworks Construction Contractors, invoice number 20250-173. This is for Poggy number 1 in the amount of $5,600. We have a second by Commissioner Wynn. Any discussion on this item? Madam Chair, will you vote?
Yes, please.
Yes. Passes unanimously, thank you. Move on to item 6, again to Landmark Construction. I'll place that into form of motion for invoice number 20250-174. This is for Poggy Bridge number 2 in the amount of $5,600.
Seconded by Nancy Brown. Does anyone have any question? Let's vote on this one.
That is unanimous, thank you. Move down to 6D, and I'll make the motion for Landmarks Construction Contractors, invoice number 20250-331. This again is for Poggy Bridge number 1 in the amount of $5,600.
Seconded by Carol Bailey. Any questions? Let's vote.
Paul Smith,
Yes. That is unanimous, thank you. So we'll move down to 6E. I'll make a motion to pay Landworks Construction Contractors for invoice number 20250-332. This is for Poggy number 2 in the amount of $5,600.
You do have your second, sir, from Commissioner Hughes. Anyone have a question? Please vote.
Paul Smith,
Yes. That is unanimous, thank you. We'll move on to 6F and out of budget. This item to Shell's Professional Services invoice number 27425 in the amount of $64,221.08. Was referred back to the company in order to adhere to Tennessee state rates for travel. So put that in form of a motion to defer it back to Shells for that.
Second by Lisa Childress. Any comments or questions?
Do we need it to be changed?
Sorry, go ahead.
F, correct? This is G.
Oh, sorry. It is F. I didn't mean to say G.
It didn't pass through.
No, it has to pass commission. Either passes or fails.
I'll put it back in.
All right.
Well, she's correct in the screen. Carol Whaley, would you like to go ahead and speak?
Yes. I have several questions on Shells. Quite a few, actually. Sorry. I went through these invoices today. And I'm a little confused because if we look at employee 101 on June 9th of 25, it says they were on a conference call with finance. A FEMA answer request CAT A, B, and G. They were on site for 4 hours. And then if you look at employee 102, he transitioned from Carter County to Nashville to answer emails and calls with Carter County and a meeting at the EOC. So he was on site working for 6 hours. But he also charged us for 250 miles. But they were also in Nashville at the CMA Awards on the same day. So how can we pay them 250 miles in mileage plus the 4 hours that they supposedly worked and the 6 hours that they supposedly worked if they were in Nashville? And you want me to keep going with my questions?
I mean, if you would like to put them in email, because I couldn't hear what dates you were questioning initially.
I will put them in an email, but I would prefer when I do ask you a question about a Shells invoice, that Shells does not contact me. Because every time I ask the finance department questions about Shells invoices, I get phone calls from Shells. I don't need to text you.
I don't have any way to know that. I mean, I can send them the questions and I won't say what commissioner they came from.
I don't care for you telling which commissioner it came from because I don't have anything to hide. But I just don't appreciate them calling me every time I ask you all for information.
Yeah, I mean, I can't control who they call and don't call. I mean, I can just ask.
Well, how do they know that I've called you or emailed you?
If I ask the question, then that's what I said. I won't tell them who asked the question. I'll just say this was posed from commission.
Because I'm not asking them the question. If I wanted to ask them, I would just call them or email them.
Yeah. Only thing I'm aware of, at one point, the question had been asked and she said, who asked? And I said, Carol asked. And she said, let me just call her and direct her directly. That's the only time I'm aware of that she's spoken to you.
No, she called me another time. And because she called me from the EMA office, she called me 4 times in a row. And the last time she called from the EMA office, because I have the call and I have the email.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I have no I have no way to control who they call and don't call. But if you want to email me the questions, I'll just say they're from commission and not put your name on it.
Well, that's fine, but I want everybody else in here to hear my questions. And then, if you want me to email them, I will.
That would just help because I can hear part of what you're saying, but I couldn't hear all of it. So I want to be clear that we ask the correct questions.
Okay.
Because I couldn't hear the date that you were questioning.
That was on June 9th. On June 9th, it said a conference call with finance. FEMA answer request CAT, A, B, and G, and they were on site and here for 4 hours and charged us. And employee 102 was also on June 9th, transitioned to Carter County from Nashville, which I don't think they live in Nashville, do they?
Yes.
So,
Well, right outside of Nashville. I don't exactly know, but it's in the Nashville area.
so from Carter County to Nashville to answer emails and to have phone calls with Carter County and a meeting at the EOC. And they charged us 250 miles, charged us mileage for 250 miles. And then he charged us 6 hours of work.
So if I'm not mistaken,
So do we not do Zoom calls with them?
I'm sorry, what?
I mean, why do they have to drive
Zoom
from?
calls with them.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
I'm just curious why they had to drive from Nashville to answer emails and do a call with Carter County and a meet at the EOC.
I believe the night, can you tell me for sure that says the night? I laid my glasses down somewhere and I've worked for. Okay, so it looks like they must have arrived on June the 9th. Sorry, I've laid my glasses down somewhere, so.
But if you look at the second Shouse invoice, the one for $5,500, also for employee 102 on 7/1, sorry, that's my next date is 7/1, so I'll stop there on 6/9. So on 7/1, employee 101 has a conference call with finance, an overall project review with the admin team. Who's the admin team? Because they're on site. They traveled here and they said they're on site in Carter County. So that employee charged us 375 miles and they worked 4 hours.
So if that was, what day was that? June?
July 1st.
That was probably travel day.
Commissioner Whaley, can you please refer to a page number that you're?
I'm sorry, on page 51.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, I just got lost because I thought you said it was the second invoice.
So I'm going back to that one.
Okay.
I'm just saying. But if you look at employee 102 on page 53 for July 1st, he had a meeting at the EOC with the highway department and an email response. And he said he was on site.
According to the hotel bill, they arrived sometime in the evening on June the 30th. So they would have been on site July 1st.
And each of them charged us 375 miles.
I don't think it was charged twice, was it?
Yes, it was. Yes.
It's charged on Monday and Tuesday.
There was one trip that came separately. I remember when that trip was. But there was one trip that came separately, one came the day before the other one.
Okay. And on the second invoice for the 5,500, the total is 5523.80 on page 68, employee 102 set an NRCS meeting at the EOC, an NRCS site showing for RFP Group 2. They were already on site, but they billed us 120 miles.
And they left that day, I don't know, I'm not in those meetings. So I can't tell you, I can't account for everything they do for every hour. The only thing I can account for is what we do with FEMA and what is related to finance. I'm not involved in that work. So that would be a question for either someone at the EOC or for the highway department superintendent. I'm not included in those meetings.
Okay, and on Wednesday, July the 2nd, on page 51, they had invoice called to the contractors for Shell Heaton Branch. and then TDSS for the RFPs, the bid tab, and the score team. And that was on site for 8 hours.
As I said, I can't account for everything they do. I know they were present when we opened the bids, but we were not in there for that length of time. But what they did before or after that meeting, I wouldn't have any way of knowing that.
Commissioner Whalen, would you mind an interruption so I can let a couple of other commissioners speak? We'll
Yes,
come back to
go
you.
ahead.
I was just gonna answer, like, I do know the answer to the NRCS, the site showing, those mileages are actually going to the sites where they're going to the different, places with NRCS. That's why that mile, so they're actually on site, but that 102 travels to those sites. That's what that mileage is.
Okay, so that's where we get charged the $114.
Yes, those are like the NRCS site showings and the groups and the site 3 and 2, and I don't know the details on which ones those are, but they're going all over those.
So, if I may, so when the 2 and 4 went out for bid, they asked if they could utilize the EOC to have all the contractors meet there, or the companies, and they filled up the EOC, and RCS went through what the requirements are, what they expected when they do the bank stabilization projects and everything, and then they all left because they went on each of the road site inspections. So each of the contractors went with them. We did not partake. They used the EOC because I guess that's where they've always just set up in the EOC. We have no space for now for them, but I know employee 102 and 105 were on site for the bid and taking those people out because they were there for 2 days. And they asked if they could meet around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning because they start early.
Road 101 was there as well, but
Yes, she
they
was-
charged us 8 hours.
Yeah, she was in the office. The other 2 actually went on the sites.
But
102
they didn't
and 105.
subtract off when they were having the meetings, employees. Were there on the 2nd or the 3rd. She had 8 hours on as well. And I don't understand why they have to do conference calls to the finance department if they're on
Just
site.
like all the other invoices, which I don't know how much of the other meeting you were here, but any type of professional, whether it's an attorney or an engineer or a public adjuster, they charge for time spent, whether it's on the phone, conference calls, emails. They charge for that time at their hourly rate.
So on page 54, employee 105, on June the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th, he was on site because he billed us 630 miles for travel from Mississippi or Missouri, I don't know where he's from. But why or who does the volunteer fire department data prep and review for entry into donated resources? What is that?
Donated Resources is a FEMA project. And what he did, I don't know. I'm just telling you that's a FEMA project. I have not been involved in that one, so.
So it took him,
Mr. Say, can you all answer anything related to that?
The donated resources is all the stuff that I had together from the fire departments, including the trucks they use, the saws they use, any type of equipment. It has to have a detailed list of that so that they can put that in, turn that into the pool.
That is category B,
Yeah.
emergency protective measures project for the donated resources. Because there's no paid department, it's all volunteer, but those volunteer hours that they were out during the hurricane are capturable, are reimbursable at a FEMA rate, as well as if they were utilizing any fire equipment, saws, trucks, all that. And that's all.
it took him 5 days on site at 9, 7, 8, 9, 6 hours a day.
That, I can't answer for that.
I mean, I've not been involved in that, so I can't answer that question.
I don't. Been around,
Could have been a different volunteer fire department.
I mean, it was all of them. It was every one of them that worked,
Different
volunteered.
departments, there's, and
Do we have a list of what volunteer fire departments we did? You got that information from?
I believe,
Because I called some
It
today.
should be in the portal. Any information that he got from the volunteer fire department would be part of what's in the portal.
put on a list and from doing the category B FEMA worksheets in itself, it is tedious. And when you're going into different lines, you can look at all personnel and figure out their hours and everything goes on one spreadsheet and then you go to the equipment. So it can be time consuming to do that data entry. I don't know if you stand in, how they were doing it because I didn't know what they started doing from the start of this. So when they're in the EOC and they're set up and they're on their phone and they're working on the computer, I'm not going around looking and seeing what they're doing because I'm doing other stuff that needs to get done in the EM world. But I know that they're there and they're doing something.
Yeah, and then he's got here that he worked, Saturday, June 21st, that's on page 56. Sunday, June 22nd, and Monday, June 23rd, doing the same exact things, data review and entry for the volunteer fire departments. 8 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. I just really think, along with the Airbnbs, my question would be the same as, why do they have 6 beds and 2 guests? Or 4 beds and 3 guests? And I understand they have to be here, they're working Monday through Friday, and they don't want to travel back on the weekend. But I don't see why we pay them to come up and have their vacation for Saturday and Sunday. They're not here working. Is it in our contract that we pay them for Saturdays and Sundays?
I know there have been, and I don't remember particularly on this one because I've been involved in other projects the last couple of days trying to get us some money back from FEMA. But most of the time, if they took off one day, but they worked the other day on the weekend, there have been other times where I've checked and they've worked all 7 days. But I didn't check these particular one. I know they were off on the 4th. One of them was off on the 4th, and I think the other one worked.
No, I think they were both off on the 4th.
I think Bruce worked because I talked to him.
On the 4th, it said they were on site, but they didn't bill anything for the 4th, neither one of them.
Commissioner Whaley,
Yes, ma'am.
may I get some other commissioners speaking time?
Yes.
And if you're still not finished, we can come back, but I want to give the floor to Andy Golden right now.
Couple of questions. Other than the $600,000 that we got instead of the $3 million over at the landfill, how much other money have we received from FEMA at this moment from this bill?
There is $42,000 obligated at this point. We have not received that money. The other
I'm actually
$1 million,
received.
neither has anyone else in this disaster because I did ask that question and had it researched and no one has received any money from FEMA at this point.
Earlier it was stated that no one would get 100% of this money back. And I don't think I'm the only one that recalls the young lady standing there telling us that we would get 100% of this money back. It was stated to us by this company that we would get 100% of it back. The other thing is, we even use a federal program that is sponsored by the federal money to pay youth in this county for our little nonprofit. I will tell you that I have a bookkeeper and a CPA that does it. Even in simple billing of pay for little youth working, we have to state what time of the day on a special sheet that they start, when they finish, every time they have a break, whenever there's a lunch break. If it is not to the T, you do not get that federal money back. You just don't. We do this on a regular basis and it's tough getting that money back. If we turned in something with just these hours, being that we've not received any money back, we're betting on this every time that we're spending this much money. We hope, we're all in question of this, that we're gonna get this money back. The other thing is, on their original contract that we had, it states the Open Records Act on Chase's contract. It says, notwithstanding any other provision that the contract documents that the parties both acknowledge and agree to, the Carter County is subject to and will comply with Tennessee Open Records Act. In saying that, the Open Records Act, it also says that companies cannot remove employees' names when billing Tennessee counties if those names are essential for the county to verify services provided and fulfill its public accountability and obligations. Now, it was given a hard time just because I asked a question and I mentioned Bruce Richards' names one time that was on his invoice. We are not a private business. We are a county with tax money. It says that their names are not to be responsible. And that's in here going 101 and 102 and 103. This is already confusing enough. So if there's a problem with them working for us, they should have stated that before we signed that contract. But they say in that contract that they will obey and abide by the Open Records Act. If we cannot even state who is on that invoice, that is public knowledge.
I have both.
Well, you have those, but you're not the commissioner sitting here. This is confusing, Miss Karen. Miss Carolyn, I'm sorry.
The reason that it was taken off is because that their family members that were here working were getting threatening phone calls.
Well, we're sorry, then they don't need to work for the county. If there's something going on in their life, which I know that there's legal issues that other ones are in, and jail time and a lot of other things going on. But that doesn't have anything to do with the taxpayers' money in this town and us understanding whether or not we should pay it or we shouldn't. I make a motion to withdraw the contract and be done with this company. And if it passes, fine, and if it don't, but I am done.
Order, we already have a motion and a second on the floor.
Yes, that is
Fine,
correct.
I'll come back to it, thank you.
Okay, floor goes to Adrian.
Yes. Few comments.
Make your favor so we can hear you better.
Okay. Just got a few comments. You was talking about all the days that he was working at the fire department. He's going out there and cataloging what they have and getting that in a list. And then the weekend that you talked about him working, Saturday and Sunday and Monday, he's working remote, meaning he's doing something on his computer or something of that nature. He's not charging hours in an office somewhere. He's working remote. Probably putting that information that he got from the week in his computer.
Do you yield, sir?
Yes, thank you.
Is there any other commissioner ready to speak at the moment? Okay, Carol William, coming back to you. And maybe for the last time on this particular item.
And that's fine. I mean, the only thing I've got to say is for employee 102 on page 52. If you look at the mileage, it's every day. Data prep for projects, data prep for entry, and entry for Carter County Highway Department. Respond to email correspondence and calls regarding projects. Why do they charge us 25 miles in mileage? The next day on the 11th, we've got 22 miles for the exact same thing. Data prep for contracts at the Highway Department, 38 miles. Summary for Sheriff's Department, Summers and Taylor contract, 15 miles. Develop worksheet for Highway Department, CAD A, reconcile payroll and equipment, make adjustments per Highway Department. They're saying they're on site, but they charged us 52 miles that day. I'm sorry, but I don't agree that what they're doing is legal. I think they're double dipping myself, and I don't care who tells them or whatever, but I do not think these invoices are correct, and I think that we should not pay them.
Okay.
I'll yield.
So that's I was gonna ask you for a summative statement, but I think you just made a summative statement. Okay. Yes, Lisa.
I'm sorry, for some reason, my request to speak button is not working. The only question that I have is, and maybe someone here can help me remember, when was the last time that a representative for this company, Shells Company, that we're paying with taxpayers' money, hoping to get money back, has actually appeared in front of us so we could direct these questions? Has it been 5 months?
Well, it's not required to.
I don't think that was in
They
the.
don't say that they
Okay,
have to
Mr.
come there.
Childers has the floor,
I have the floor,
please.
sir.
Excuse me.
Sir.
Go ahead, Chair.
Yes, I have the floor. Until I yield it, I would appreciate no other comments from any commissioner. My question is, they're not required at all. Can we request them? Can they deny that? Is that in the contract? If we have questions? We have a right to question anything that's submitted by anyone that we are paying with taxpayer dollars. Some people get their dander up a little bit about that. That's fine. That's what we're elected to do, is ask questions. How are we going to get the answers and be informed if we don't ask questions? So that's our right. And if it's offensive to anyone that's sitting in this room, I will not apologize. That's what I was elected to do. Chairwoman, I yield.
Thank you. Let's go to Dr. Thomas.
We sat in a meeting, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but we talked about the hotel issue. We talked about the weekends, Donnie, drew this up. And Jerry explained to us in the corporate world that they had to be paid over the weekend if they come here to work. Okay, I'll give them that. But at that meeting, we talked about them staying at the Carnegie for $200 some a night. And we said we didn't like that idea. Could we have them explain why they were doing that? And the agreement was at that meeting, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, was that we would have her come and explain to us why they were staying at the Carnegie. Well, we were all very unhappy with that, but month after month, they're staying at the Carnegie. So obviously that didn't get any further than that meeting. And so my concern is, and I was glad to hear that we could say, we'll pay you $110. Other companies are doing that. So I would approve of that, but not this stuff at the Carnegie. I yield the floor.
Julie Gwynn.
Okay, so that is what Dr. Thomas just said. What came out of budget was that we send it back to them and let them know we were going to pay the $110, which is the state amount approved. So this whole conversation has been not really even about what we discussed in budget to send over here. Now, you want to know why she hasn't come back over here? Because every time they came over here, it was a personal attack on them.
Yes.
We don't see other contractors in here. You don't see Summers and Taylor standing here giving us a by-play of everything they do. We don't see Beam Construction. I mean, even the highway department, they'll tell us some things, but they don't tell us every single thing that they're doing. It would take forever. And I really and truthfully, I'm curious, when y'all are talking about not keeping them, who is going to do these mountains of paperwork? That means we have to quit our jobs and come do it. Are y'all willing to do that? I can't do that. I don't know who would do, if you've ever been in the EOC, I can name it, been in there. And I was astounded at the amount of paperwork that has to be turned in. And we're not talking like your business is one business. I understand that, and you have to do dot every I, cross every T. We're talking county-wide damage on numerous roads, numerous bridges. Tell me that. Who's going to do this paperwork? I mean, we also, yes, we can do away with the contract, but I don't know that that would be a win for our county. We have projects going right now. I mean, Roan Mountain has been desperate to get their roads fixed. I mean, at Ash Shannon, what's being done, it's been doing this week specifically. We're seeing mountains of work being done. And I mean, roads that are safe to travel on now. Hoagie and Elk Mills are, they're coming along. you know, they're delivering the rock, we're getting the stuff out there. But please tell me that. If we don't keep them, who's gonna do it? You're gonna expect your EMA guys to do it? Kathy, can you keep up with all this by yourself, plus what you have to do on your normal day? I'm not being smart about that. I just really wanna know, we better be thinking about it, because the only people that are going to crash and burn on this are our citizens, because they're not gonna get this work done. And then when we get to the tail end of this, if we don't get any money back, guess what? Taxes go up, people can't afford to stay. You know, I'm just throwing that out there at you. And I'm not trying to be mean, but I do hope y'all think about that. Because if we don't do it, who's gonna do it? I know the city of Elizabethton did. Look how small they are in comparison to countywide damage. It's true.
Okay, I see no other requests to speak. Okay, Kelly Collins.
I was gonna ask, on page 52, the mileage, could that be from the hotel over here and back? So, I mean, that's pretty standard. And, well, I voted for House to come, and I think they've been helping, and then hopefully will get us a whole lot of money. I do think that there needs to be some type of exit plan in place going forward with the new contract coming up. And I don't know at what point our people can take over, but I do believe at some point that needs to happen. I'm not saying next week, but I think that we need to, and I think it's our job, as a matter of fact, to look at this as an exit plan for them to move on and us to gradually start taking over. And I don't know if financial management or even budget has, really pointed that. I know it's been a little bit discussed, but, I do think this needs to be considered down the road, and maybe sooner than later. Thank you. I yield back.
Did I see another hand? Okay. Todd Smith hasn't spoken yet. Let me go to him first.
I know we had discussed this a little bit in budget, in passing, because we knew the date was going to come. And one of the main reasons that it's not really been pursued is the financial department is still working short of people. Are you still working short one?
I had one resign last night.
Oh.
So that one there, with the staff you currently have, be honest with me, staff you currently have, did you take over the paperwork involved that we're having filed currently by Shouse?
I'm currently working, and I will get fussed at because I can see the eyes on me already. I'm currently working, I really honestly couldn't tell you how many hours a day, but I work here. I usually leave here 5:36, 6:37. I go see my mother. I stop and get something to eat. I'm back on my computer at night when I get home till usually 11:30, unless I am not feeling well or have something else to do. That's what I'm currently doing right now.
What type of level of person would you have to have in your office that you would need to hire that would be capable of doing that type of work?
It would take somebody quite some time to just get up to speed, because we've been now doing this for 10 months? So to bring someone in and try to teach them, I'm learning to go into the portal. I found out Kathy was able to rectify that. I didn't even have full access in the portal because I was in there trying to do stuff and couldn't get it to work. But just the level of questions that are coming back, I had to send one to a Shouse associate yesterday. I've not been involved with any of that. She had to do all the research. We spent, because I pulled Chad in, we spent 2 or 3 hours and didn't get anywhere with it. She had the background on it, so she took care of it. We've spent, Chief, 2.5 days working on the other one that we had between myself, you, Isaiah, and Keith. And that one is being answered tonight. So we'll have that one in the portal by midnight tonight. So it's an extensive amount of work. Unless you've done it, you would not have any idea how much is involved. I didn't know how much was involved. When I spent time with FEMA earlier this week, I had a 200 some line document for Cat B, just one section of Cat B. And we went through line item by line item. I've got several hours of work already into that. He's given me more questions, more requests. I've got to go in and justify several of those lines or we won't get that money back. So that is time spent that I'm spending because I'm trying not to turn it over to the contractor for them to bill us. So I'm doing it in my spare time. Because it's beyond my normal workday that I'm taking care of those things.
One more comment, Sharon, then I'll yield. I know one thing that I've heard several times over the last 4 months, and more particular than any other time, is that a lot of folks point back to the city of Elizabethton. Well, the city of Elizabethton, they did away with shall, so why can't we do away with shalls? I'm gonna give you a visual illustration. This is how much damage the city of Elizabethton received. Carter County received a swimming pool full. That's the difference. I yield.
Okay, so, everything, go ahead.
It was brought up that she said that we would get 100% back on what we were getting. I remember that meeting that night, and I remember her saying 100% on certain items.
That's correct.
She said that we could count our volunteer hours for everybody that we can find. And that coupled with whatever else we were going to get back will raise a percentage of the rest of it that we get back.
That is correct. Which, to reference what Carol Whaley said, when Colin was looking for the stuff for the volunteers, for the fire departments, that is a piece of that. So what those types of things do is they offset the things that FEMA kicks out. So FEMA may kick out an expense that we had, but we'll get a credit for those. So some of that will offset. But it is illogical to think we would get 100% back on everything we've done. That is illogical and impossible.
I want to backtrack here. One reason why we don't have Summers and Taylors and other companies in here every month is not all of them, but we have invoices for $64,000 in Airbnbs and travel. And I don't think any of us, whether you're getting your air conditioning fixed and at your home or at your business, I know right now with all the moving and all the building and supplies that we're doing at our workplace, I don't go and just write a blank check. And if they are giving me a bill, I go out and look. I count how many pieces of wood and I count how many hours that are there because every dime adds up to a lot of money. We are just assuming. You're saying you don't know what they're doing. We don't either. That's why we're asking questions. And you want to know why she didn't come back? Because I was told by Commissioner Johnson, sitting next to me, about 3 meetings ago when I voted for something and was called stupid, which is normal sitting here. I'm just being honest. He said that she hasn't come back because I chastised her. I did not chastise her. I asked a question. And unless you have something to hide, you should be able to answer questions about your business. What was asked in that meeting was how were we charged on one of those dates for hours, just like happened tonight, when on Facebook, on public media, it has you flying to Las Vegas and you had put in for 8 hours. And she said, because I worked on my computer. And that is considered chastised. That's why I thought she was upset. So I went and spoke with her. And then she was upset that the man's name was mentioned in that meeting. Well, it was I was reading it straight here off the desk that day. That was the only thing that happened. So I don't understand, but there's a lot of red flags, which we'll get into that maybe later on after the state gets done looking at it. We'll find out the true reasons why behind it all. But I'll just say, if everyone wants to keep them, keep them. But in the end, again, I'll repeat it. About 6 different meetings I've said it. It's not going to turn out good in the end. I yield.
Yes, Madam Chair. I'll say one thing.
Yes, sir.
So, a lot of questions about these timesheets and invoices and all that good stuff. But I think everybody in this room, don't forget, you work for Carter County. The people elected you to watch after the checkbook. So just keep that in mind when you make your decisions. You don't work for anybody else but Carter County. and the citizens out there. That's what you was elected to do. So I yield, thank you.
Okay, anybody else have a hand up? Okay, Carol Whaley.
I have one more statement to go with Danny's. We can sit here and pay out to these people and pay out all this money. But she stood right up there and said for the landfill that we would guaranteed get back $2 million. Yes, I'm sure I'm not the only one that heard it. And if I can find the recording of it, if there was even one, then, and we got 600,000 back. But we're gonna keep paying all of this out, and everybody wants to say, we've got to protect the taxpayers, we've got to build back. Yes, we do. But we can't sit here and keep paying this money out and paying this money out and paying this money out and turn around next year, the year after, and keep raising taxes on these people. Because yes, we've had to build back, but some of this stuff is not, it's uncalled for. So we have to stop and think about the taxpayers in that sense. So we're just gonna sit here and tell them, yeah, we're gonna build it back, but come next year, we're really gonna lay it to you on the taxes, because we're gonna be about $40 million in the hole, or ever how many million. So we can't do that to the taxpayers either. But like Danny said, Carter County is a business. We were hired to be the bookkeepers for this business. But sometimes I think that we've just opened the vault door to Fort Knox and put a big fan in front of the door and just let all the bills just go flying. Just willy-nilly, just let it go. I yield.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Can I make one request?
Yes, ma'am.
Any specific questions you have toward this contractor or any other contractor, if you will send them to me in writing so that they are very specific, I will be happy to forward that to that contractor with no specific name other than from the commission. That way it can't be said it was from one particular person. That's all I can do. I can't get out and follow contractors, whether it's these, engineering, any of them. If you have specific questions, all we do is put the bills in and bring them forward to be approved. So if you have questions on them, I'm happy to forward those. If I don't know, I can send them to Shannon and he can send them to whoever his contact is. Or I'm sure EMA can help me with that as well, because I'm not really involved with all those details. I'm just bringing forward what we have received from the finance department. Or into the finance department, excuse me.
Okay, Dr. Inca, thank you for your patience while this is going. A few minutes ago, I stepped over to Attorney Harden to see if I was correct in thinking that if budget deferred that invoice that we've been discussing, then I don't think it has to come before the full commission.
That's correct.
They didn't forward it to the full commission without recommendation. They just deferred action on it. So it has to go back to budget again, whenever that is.
So I think that means maybe you want to withdraw that motion.
We're talking about S. We've talked so long, I forgot where we were.
Yes, we are.
Thank you, I was making sure.
Yeah, we could withdraw it. Our city attorney. So I guess that leaves us at 6G, or on your all's number 7. Since we did come out of budget, I'll make the motion, I did this way, to approve payment to Shell's Professional Service for invoice number 70335 2025 in the amount of $5,523.80.
For a second. Okay, Commissioner Keith Range seconds that motion. Is there any discussion? Okay, let's vote.
Yes.
So that motion has failed.
Okay, we'll go on to 6H, or number 8 on your lineup. And I'll place it to motion to approve payment to Trilec Products for invoice number 20335 in the amount of $2,900, and these are for portable sign systems.
Is there a second?
Yep.
I'm sorry, but thank you. I see it now. Danny Deal. Any discussion on this one? Let's vote on the Trilec products.
Yes. Yes, thank you. Move on, Gwen, to your number 9. Placing a motion to approve payment to RK&K for invoice 25020000005 in the amount of $9,300 for engineering work on Poggy Bridge number 1.
Second by Leslie Hughes. Questions or discussion? Please vote.
Todd Smith,
Yes. That's unanimous. So, move on to your item 10. Motion to approve payment to RK&K for invoice 250210005 in the amount of $27,667.50 for engineering work on Poggy Bridge number 2.
Okay, seconded by Commissioner Hughes. Anyone want to call on the matter? Please vote.
Todd Smith,
Yes. Okay, thank you. It's unanimous. Next item, I'll place it to motion to approve payment to RK&K for invoice 25047.000-5 in the amount of $3,987.50 for engineering work on Long Hollow Bridge.
Okay, we have our second from Avery Lynn. Any questions? Let's vote.
Todd Smith,
Yes. Thank you, that's unanimous. So we'll move on to the next item, and I'll place into motion to approve a check request for payment to Thompson Consulting Services LLC for invoice 24111005001 in the amount of $3,465.77 for debris monitoring services in March of 2025.
Okay, I'm sorry, we have a second from Avery Lynn. Dr. Aco, forgive me, what page numbers are we on now?
I thought we were on
89.
89 to
Are you talking about the invoice?
Oh, okay. I apologize, I've got my pages out of order. All right, we do have our second. Any questions on this one? Please vote.
Todd Smith,
Yes. Thank you. That's unanimous, so we'll move to the next item. I'll place in a motion to approve to Sunbelt Rentals for invoice number 162193666-0009 in the amount of $913.50 for sign rentals for Eaton Creek Road for road closures due to Hurricane Florence.
Second by Commissioner Range. Any questions? And voting?
Paul Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Range.
Thank you. Passes unanimously. Move on to the next, which is also to Sunbelt, and I'll place that into motion for invoice number 162193666-00010 for the amount of $4,872 for sign rentals for Anakin Creek, Eaton Creek Road, and for road closures due to Helene.
All right, that has been seconded by Commissioner Hughes. Any more discussion? All right, voting?
Paul Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson?
Ma'am,
I think we're waiting on you, sir.
sorry.
That is unanimous, thank you. We're on to Quinn's budget number 15. Place into motion to approve payment to the public adjuster for invoice number 1666 in the amount of $4,062.50 for FEMA-related claims for
Seconded by Leslie Hughes. Anyone have any thoughts? Let's vote.
Paul Smith,
Yes. That's unanimous, thank you. Move on to item 16. And I'll place into motion to approve payment to the public adjuster for invoice number 1717, the amount of $5,039.62 for claims related to Hampton High School for Carter County students.
Motion seconded by Leslie Hughes. All right, let's vote.
Paul Smith,
Yes. Unanimous, thank you. Next item will be ordinance number 17. I'll place into motion to approve payment to public adjuster for invoice number 1793, the amount of $3,422.39 for claims related to equipment and vehicles.
Also seconded by Commissioner Hughes. Anyone want to say anything? All right, let's vote.
Paul Smith,
Yes. Thank you, that is unanimous. We'll move on to the next item, which is registry, it's 18. So I'll place into motion to approve payment to the public adjuster for invoice number 1667 in the amount of $2,987.50 for estimates and inspections.
Motion seconded by Julie Quinn. We have a request to speak from Carol Bailey.
I just have a quick question on this one. It says on January 8th, it says the extension office, the Folsom House on site, and that was $500 for inspection. Is that the same inspection that we paid those other 3 invoices on? I'm sorry.
I think that is a good question, and I'm not gonna answer it.
Because on the back, on page 110, it says on 3/24/25, it says Folsom House estimate for the flood, and we're paying $1,750.
So maybe this company was hired after those other three didn't provide an estimate?
No, I'm asking.
If I may,
Yeah. Okay, I saw Angie first, I'll come to you next time. Go ahead, ma'am.
If I'm not mistaken, we had those three and we had to pay it. But if you remember, they didn't provide a report because I asked, if we're already paying it, can't we get a report? But they're like, nope, we paid it all and we didn't even get a report. So that was money that we just threw to the wind. And then now we're having to do this because they didn't provide a report.
Okay, thank you, Austin.
I want to bring to everybody's attention, it was actually this group, your public adjuster, that made note that those other three groups should have never been here doing what they were doing to begin with. If it hadn't been for them, we would have definitely been in a world of hurt. Because we didn't know what was going on really at that point.
Any other requests to speak? Let's vote.
Paul Smith,
Yes.
Unanimous, thank you. Move on to item number 19. Approve check request and payment for ECE for invoice number 25642-147-2025071 site G in the amount of $12,757.25 for H&H study for road sites damaged by Helene.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
we were going to defer those four.
First four.
Probably pass those four.
We talked about deferring them at full commission.
We approved, sir, these four, and we deferred the second set of however many.
The intent was, I think, you all were going to defer it here, but they'd already passed through to here. So if you still want to defer them, you have to vote to defer them from this body, the four that were approved. That's the way I remember it.
Yes, sir.
That's what I understood as well.
So that was my point. I can't make a motion to defer. It has to go through this vote and fail before it's deferred. Is that correct?
Well, because it came from budget as a motion to approve, and so that's what he's presenting.
I make a comment. I was just looking through here at these, and I know that the main concern on these was the three projects, or the three different engineers, correct? Wasn't that the main concern? If you look out beside on what was charged, it gives them a better description of what they did. And the only redundance that is in three is the project engineer, which oversaw the engineering, the intern. The other project engineer was doing field surveys. So we actually have different jobs going on there. And I made the remark earlier, I can definitely see why you would have an engineer with an intern, especially in the engineer field. And I didn't notice that previously, but just sitting here looking at it, it looks like there's a decent description there. That's just my personal observation.
Thank you, sir. We're going to move to Avery Wynn.
During this discussion, part of the problem is the mileage and the number of people traveling in the vehicle, four different vehicles. Well, let me explain a little bit something. 3 men can travel in one car, but a survey crew cannot pile in the car with them, with their equipment. The survey crew at a minimum is 2 people. Usually it's 3, a rod man, an instrument man, and the party chief. So there's why you have 2 vehicles going. But I also noticed that they're probably undercharging us on the mileage, because it's 100 miles from here to there, to Crossville. 200. So we're being undercharged for the mileage, and we're arguing about it because they're bringing 2 vehicles.
Do you yield, sir?
You.
Okay, in the break between budget and this meeting, I was able to talk to Shannon. I would like, because I'll be honest, I voted to defer them too. But we need to know what you told me during the break. How is this going to affect the work that is going over the next few weeks?
Okay. They come and do the hydraulic study, they have to go, like we was talking about, I'm sure there's more than 3 or 4. You have an engineer that comes out, they measure up, do the scope of work, do the survey, then go back and have to draw all this up. So I'm sure there's all this travel time, plus time to work back at the office. We have to have these hydraulic studies to proceed with our work. If we don't get these completed, then we cannot finish the road projects. These hydraulic studies are to replace the structures that were damaged with the flood, and we are going to replace them with prefab box culverts, which is a whole lot better than just a metal culvert pipe. I'm afraid these 4s on Shell Creek, but we have had to call them several other times to do more inspections, more surveys, more engineering. And if something else comes up, I call them. They go, we've called them several times, but I'm afraid if you don't proceed with this, and I go to call them tomorrow or the next week, and they say, no, we're not coming, then how am I gonna get to fix this? And without these hydraulic studies, once they get these figured out, what we've got to have, it's gonna be a prefab concrete box culvert. They have to be made at Permatile in Bristol, Virginia. Once that's made, they don't have them sitting on a lot because they're all different sizes. Once that's put in, shipped or forwarded to Permatile, and they make this, it comes out of the form, it probably has to sit 20 to 30 days or more for that concrete to cure, to be moved and put in place to be strong enough to hold. You just can't make it, call tomorrow, make it the next day, you'll pick it up, put it in Saturday. This is going to be a time frame that we have to have. If we're going to delay this, I don't know how further down the road it's going to push us to do the road project. I have contractors on Shell Creek. Once they finish the NRCS projects, which they're over halfway done on Shell Creek, they plan on turning right back around and starting right back up Shell Creek, placing these boxes and fixing the road. I don't have the box culverts, and we're just dead in the water. And not only for the first 4, but the other 7 that goes to Hampton Creek, Heaton Creek, Oak Creek, and all the other road projects.
All right, thank you for sharing your knowledge. Does anybody else want to speak on this matter? Ms. Lee Hughes?
I think we need to think back that this is 10 months now, that the people up there in those areas have been having to go around or dodge through these roads, that if y'all haven't been up there, you really, really need to go. And a lot of it has improved, and they actually have some drivable roads on Shell Creek. But these people have been putting up with this for 10 months, and I think it's kind of ridiculous to be arguing over 200 miles. These people need to be paid, and we need to get this done for our citizens. We keep talking about how we need to be responsible for our citizens and the money paid to it, and all these contractors, but there's also taking care of your citizens and trusting your highway superintendent who knows what he's talking about here. I yield.
Anybody else?
Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead.
For example, the other day when it flooded, 2 Wednesdays ago, Shell Creek only, 45 minutes, I got 4 inches of rain. One of our pipes, I'm not sure if it's HI or J, the water washed all the cover off the top of the pipe. Luckily, Summers and Taylor's equipment was sitting there where they're doing the NRCS work. We borrowed their equipment and had to hold the structure in place till we got 2 loads of gravel there to maintain that so the people on the head of Shell Creek could get out. If we keep having to do this and do this, or if we go ahead and get the box culvert put in, it's not gonna wash out. It might wash some gravel around it, but the structure's still there. So it just prolonging is what's gonna happen. Thank you.
I just want to add one more thing. When that happened, we had to send out officers, we had to send out rescue team, EMA, I mean, we had a whole group of people, not just the highway department, that had to go up there and attempt to evacuate some of these people. And by then the water started receding after a little bit. And so just in this one little road, that's what happened because the work, because it just flooded right there at that one time.
I had 7 people out.
Yeah.
Nobody else. And it went down, the water went down, the station went up,
Yeah.
then you have the damage. There's 2 foot of water coming down Shell Creek.
All in, all done? All right, so, I don't think I said the words that Nancy Brown seconded this motion, but she did, and we have now discussed it. So let's take a vote on this.
Yes.
Motion passes. We're down to budget item number 20 on this list. Make a motion to approve a check requesting payment for ECE for invoice number 25642-2148-2025-0718 site H in the amount of $12,787.25 for H&H study for roadsides damaged by flood.
A motion has been seconded by Nancy Brown. Any discussion? All right, we're voting.
Paul Smith,
Yes.
Sixteen to 1, motion passes. Moving on to item number 21. I'll make a motion to approve a check request and payment to ECE for invoice number 25642-2149-20250718, site I, in the amount of $12,757.25 for H&H study for road sites damaged by the lake.
Okay, seconded by Leslie Hughes. Anybody want to say anything? Please vote on it.
Paul Smith,
Yes.
Thank you. 16 to 1, motion passes. Last budget item, I'm placing a motion to approve a check request and payment to ECE for invoice number 25642-2150-2025-0718, site J, in the amount of $12,757.25 for H&H study for road damages by the lake.
Okay, motion has been seconded by Julie Quinn. Any questions? Please vote on the side check.
Paul Smith,
Yes.
Thank you. This is 6 to 1. All the rest of the items have been deferred by budget.
Can we make a motion to get the deferred ones on?
You make that motion, any motion is
I mean, after
legal.
what Shannon said, I-
Attorney corrects me.
They weren't forwarded to be presented to the full commission. Budget first. I mean, budget could have sent them here without a recommendation, but they voted to defer. So they're not properly before the commission, in my opinion.
Hang on just a second, sir. Let me go to Todd Smith first, and then we'll come to you, Avery.
2 things. Can we dismiss the full commission, briefly meet for the budget, and come back? And the reason I asked that, I just asked our road superintendent if deferring these others are going to cause substantial issues as well, and he says, yes, he's sure that it will.
We'll close out our meeting and go back to.
So we need to know, we need to figure out a way to do this, because we don't want to put anybody in any worse shape than they already are. Now, is that even possible, Josh?
Yeah, I think you can recess this meeting and recall the budget meeting since we're at the same place and we haven't left. Have a the budget committee vote again, and then reconvene the full commission. I don't think you can suspend that as a rule that has to go through budget first. With the full commission, but I think you can do that second part, since we're still at a publicly noticed meeting. It's still the same items that were being considered at this meeting. So, yes, I think you can do that if you choose to.
Is that a motion that I can make from the floor?
Does he need to, if I'm agreeable to it?
No, if you do it, you can recess this meeting, and if he's agreeable, then recall the,
So Avery,
don't adjourn this meeting.
no, recess.
Yes.
That answers your question, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, then, Dr. Aton, I'm gonna recess the full commission meeting until you decide and make all of it about the word.
Okay. Then, budget committee, I'll call us back to order at 9:02. Consider the items that we deferred. We'll start with, just give me just a second. On your sheet, we'll start with 6W. That is the ECE invoice 25642A-2154-20250730. Check request to them in the amount of $12,777.76. That's for Doe River.
Go for a motion now?
I don't have to make a motion. I can.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, hang on just a second, before technology catches up with us.
Go ahead.
She doesn't have to do.
I know everybody wants to jump in there.
I'm not, it's just in the chat.
We have a motion on that. Commissioner Quinn is your second. On budget.
You just made the motion, I
Those
second.
two.
Oh, who made?
Yes.
Oh, you did, I didn't hear. Sorry, Leslie.
Sorry.
Okay, motion by Hughes, second.
On budget committee.
Second by Commissioner Boyd. Any discussion on this item?
I'll make the big one. Question, Chair.
Yes, sir.
Why are we going through something that's been deferred in our own community?
Because did you not hear what Shannon said?
Did I not hear what it, yeah, I've got two hearing aids. Hell, I can hear everything.
Are they
I didn't
on?
hear
Are
that.
they on?
Huh?
Because it's gonna offset, it's gonna cost us a lot of time. A lot of time that we have to have this stuff.
We have another budget meeting Monday and another.
But you don't have a commission meeting for another week after that.
Right.
And that puts him behind the eight ball.
Yes.
Good morning.
And we're well within the rights, from my understanding, so I questioned the attorney that we're okay doing it this way. So. Oppose it, vote no, I guess.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor with a second. See no other interest. Chad, you call the roll, please, sir.
Julie Gwynn,
Yes.
Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
No.
Ginger Holdren,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
Dr. Acuff.
All right, we're down to, on your list, 6X. And I'll ask for motion to pay ECE invoice number 25642B, 2155-202-50730 in the amount of $12,777.76. That is for Horton. That's close.
Motion to approve.
Quinn makes a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Hughes. Discussion. Hearing none, Chad, call the roll, please.
Julie Gwynn,
Yes.
Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
No.
Ginger Holdren,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
Dr. Acuff.
Aye. Now to 6Y. This will also be to be included in your motion for ECE invoice number 25642C 2156-2025070 with the amount of $12,777.76. This too is for heating.
Motion to approve?
Commissioner Smith makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Stout. Discussion. Hearing none. All those.
Sheila Quinn,
Yes.
Brad Johnson. Danny Deal,
No.
Ginger Holdren,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
Dr. Acuff,
6C, this again is to ECE, invoice 25642D 2157-2025073. In the amount of $12,777.76 for Hampton Creek.
Make the motion.
Stout makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hughes. Discussion. You ready, sir?
Sheila Quinn,
Yes.
Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
No.
Ginger Holdren,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
Dr. Acuff,
Aye. Okay, we're down to 6AA. This is to ECE invoice 25642E 2158-2025070 in the amount of $12,777.76, again for in the Hampton Creek area.
Motion to approve.
Glenn makes the motion.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Holder makes a second. Discussion.
Sheila Quinn,
Yes.
Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
No.
Ginger Holdren,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
Dr. Acuff,
Aye. We're down to 6BB, same vendor, ECE, invoice number 25642-2159-2025070 in the amount of $12,777.76. That too is for the Hampton Creek site.
To approve.
Mr. Hughes makes the motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Stout. Discussion?
Sheila Quinn,
Yes.
Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
No.
Ginger Holdren,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
Dr. Acuff,
Down to 6CC, again to ECE, invoice 25642K 2160-2025070, the amount of $12,777.76. This is for Jess Jarrett Road.
Motion to approve.
Okay, Commissioner Holder makes the motion. Do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Stout. Discussion.
Sheila Quinn,
Yes.
Brad Johnson,
Yes.
Danny Deal,
No.
Ginger Holdren,
Yes.
Todd Smith,
Yes.
Leslie Hughes,
Yes.
Jerry Stout,
Yes.
Dr. Acuff.
Aye. So we can adjourn budget. Back to you, Madam Chair.
All right, let's reconvene for commission meeting. We will pick up on the agenda where we were, which means that now those items can be voted on by the full commission. Dr. Acuff, it's yours.
Just give me a moment.
Yes, sir.
So we just.
Okay, that brings us down to item 23, I believe. I'll go in, make sure I got the numbers right.
Are you having deja vu yet?
Pardon?
Are you having deja vu yet?
Yeah. So we're on item 23 on the budget agenda. So I'll place into motion to approve check request payment to ECE for invoice number 25642A 2154-2025-0730 in the amount of $12,777.76 for roadside damage.
Avery Nguyen has seconded that motion. Anybody have any discussion? All right, let's vote on that item.
Paul Smith,
Yes.
Sixteen to one, motion passes. We're on to budget item number 24. And it is to ECC as well, and I'll make that motion for a check request and payment to ECE for the invoice number 25642B 2155-20250-730 in the amount of $12,777.76 for H&H study for roadside damage by Hurricane Lily.
A motion has been seconded by Nancy Brown. Anybody? Vote.
Paul Smith,
Yes.
16 to one, motion passes. We'll move on to budget item number 25. And again to ECC. So I'll make the motion to approve a check request and payment to ECE for invoice number 25642C-21556-20250-730 in the amount of $12,777.76 for roadside damages by Hurricane.
Seconded by Keith Range. Does anyone want to say anything? All right, let's vote on that item.
Paul Smith,
Yes.
Okay, 16-1, motion passes. We'll move down to budget item number 26. And I'll place into a motion to approve a check request and payment to ECE for service for invoice number 25642D 2157-20250-730 in the amount of $12,777.76 for H&H study for roadside damage during Helene.
All right, motion has been seconded by Avery Nguyen. If anyone wishes to speak, hurry up.
do it fast. Paul Smith,
Yes.
16-1, motion passes. We're down to budget item number 27. So I'll place in motion to approve a check request. Payment to ECE for invoice number 25642E-2158-20250-730 in the amount of $12,777.76, again for roadside damage by Helene.
Seconded by Judy Nguyen. Let's vote.
Paul Smith,
Yes.
Okay, 2 passes, 16-1. Come up to budget item number 28. So I'll make the motion to approve a check request and payment for ECE for invoice number 25642F 2159-20250-730 in the amount of $12,777.76 for roadside damage here in Helene.
All right, has been seconded by Nancy Brown. Let's stop me if you want to talk, otherwise let's go.
Claude Smith?
Yes.
Thank you. That is 16-1, motion passes. We're on to the last item, budget item number 29. I'll make a motion to approve check request of payment to ECE for invoice number 25642K-2160202502507 in the amount of $1,777.76 for study and damage to road sites.
Seconded by Avery Wynn, let's vote.
Claude Smith?
Yes. That's 16-1. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, sir. Your patience you've shown, thank you. We are in Commissioner comment time. I do need to make a statement. Was asked by a citizen to view a recent recording. These words are in reference to that. Commissioners, sorrowfully, I must address the recent matters concerning professionalism. We are elected by the citizens to represent the best interests of Carter County fiscally and healthfully with regard to their safety, prosperity, and pursuit of happiness. They place faith in us to listen carefully, speak professionally, and vote responsibly. I believe it is the desire and goal of each of us to return their trust with respect. Sometimes we let anger or playfulness cloud our judgment temporarily, and we say things that are unbecoming of a representative of the people. We must always be mindful that the citizens listen, watch, and learn what is said by each of us. We represent all of them, no matter any differences that exist between us or the district in which they reside, etc. You collectively and individually have asked me to keep proper decorum in our full commission meetings where the public is concerned. I have worked hard to do so. It is only fair and expected that we behave in that manner or better. It could be argued that we are held to a higher standard. I plead with you this evening to represent the citizens of Carter County in a way that puts us in the best light as professionals. Let your words be yes or no. And of course, we're going to discuss things, but let's make sure that nothing said is unbecoming. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Thank you. Everybody voted?
We want to take care of those people, and we want to help you in your department.
We're doing an open meeting upgrade next Thursday with Gwen here. It's gonna, may affect the way the handhelds and are acting, because I noticed that several people are having problems with the mobile devices. So the way it looks like that it's gonna go is whoever's the chair of a committee, they'll be able to, the way it looks like the software is gonna do is you're gonna go to a web page and you can create the agenda on a web page, the chair can. That'll send the agenda to Gwen. And then, so there's gonna be maybe a new way of doing the agendas, because we have to get a system down on how the agendas are gonna get on the website and get posted. So we'll get that all figured out next Thursday, and then we'll come back and let you know next meeting. If there's any additional training that the people will have to do to do the agendas online.
Anybody else? Okay, you know what to do.
Make a motion, Jerry.
All right. Motion.
I don't know what to do. Should
Yes.